RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. You know, I'm your host for this evening, early evening, Pat Scopio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is LB, Lauderdale Boss, aka Shutterworth, the God, the GOAT, artist, Soul Wars creator, RingGangRadio.com, in the building.
Yes, sir. Ring Gang.
Special time.
Special time of the
podcast.
Yeah, we usually don't do it at this time of the day. You know, this is one of them rare times, especially on a weekday.
On a Wednesday,
on a Wednesday, you know, when the sun is still out and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what's up, man. And you know, as always, Ring Gang House forever and always. And as always, I got my other man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
What's fly? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, aka the West Coast Avenger, number one contender, lift off Destination Ring Radio.
So that's what I'm talking about. Conscious Pilot, always elevating above the masses. That's what's good. And King P will be joining us a little later, and obviously, he'll do his thing. But yeah, we're definitely gonna get started though. I mean, we have two things we're gonna talk about. What will be later will be our discussing our latest poll topic on pound for pound list that Ring just recently released, and I'm pretty sure that'll be an interesting conversation. But before we get into that, because like I said, Ring Gang, we do other things too, and another thing that we love to do is movies. We love movies. We love watching movies, violent movies, violent action movies, or comedy. If something, or even just a regular ass good ass movie. We love movies. And the one that we are gonna review today, and it's gonna have spoilers, people. So just to let you know, is Army of the Dead. Starring Dave Bautista, and that was released on Friday on Netflix. And we were just talking offline prior to this, talking about how Netflix before used to have what we like to call real nigga movies. Movies that that you just put on and you're just like, oh shit, this is like one of the underrated low key movies, like Night Comes for Us or Extraction. There we go. I actually remember the name of that damn movie. And we did reviews on both of those movies, and they were very entertaining.
Yeah, Extraction was dope. Had a Netflix ending, but
sometimes it bees like that, man. Sometimes Netflix can't help itself. They turn themselves into a movie studio. They're like, okay, look, you're gonna end it this way, and then ain't no more words that we can have about that. That's how that's
ambiguous fadeaway ending, anticlimactic ass ending. I'll say this: The Revenger was probably one of the best Netflix movies I've seen as far as ending goes.
Word.
Just straight up no frills, like I need to beat your ass to get revenge, and that's it.
And it was probably ambiguous enough for Netflix that they actually let that shit slide through.
They better had. How else could you end this shit? A dude is beating up everybody on a fucking island, and then you say he doesn't fight the boss when he leaves before the boss get his turn. Like, nah, like some shit you just can't fuck up unless you try to, and which is real, fitting for this type of movie, because I feel like they almost tried to fuck it up with certain shit.
Yeah, Army of the Dead. Yeah, they did. Make no mistake, I enjoyed Army of the Dead. I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I said, for zombie movies, it takes a lot for someone to fuck up a zombie movie. And if you do fuck up a zombie movie, I will rip it to shreds. So luckily this was not the case. Army of the Dead. Usually, if for once it's not like Army of the Dead where it's like a virus, or some shit like that, and virus that runs on, it's not like on some Resident Evil shit or 28 Weeks Later. So that they actually had something I've never really seen in the zombie movie. They actually tried to mix it in as like a fucking like it's like some Ocean's 8, Ocean's 11 type of shit. You know what I mean?
They brought some more elements to the game. Honestly, it kind of reminded me of Peninsula, really. The whole premise
or either that, or like a little bit of or like Zombie Land in a little bit, like some parts of it. If you see Zombie Land,
So yeah, the whole adventure, we have to get something like.
It had some Walking Dead in there. A lot.
Yeah,
They put a lot of zombie shit in this one actually.
Yeah, like and
Smorgasbord.
Yeah, and something like that is and usually something like that could easily make could easily give you like plot holes galore. But this movie definitely does its best to tie them up, and it tied it up pretty good in some cases. So
yeah. So Pilot, what was your general impression of the movie? Like,
how do you
feel about it?
Not a better way to go out dying, getting some head and crashing your car.
Word.
No, but I mean, the score and the intro after that, after the whole initial, intro, where they had the music showing and how like the new life was, and this kind of like, these little clips of what this new world is. It was dope. I mean, the movie itself, I liked that. That one cop guy, I seen him like Luke Cage, I think it was, but he's like the new. I don't know if you watched Bait with Jamie Foxx, the David Morse, that dirty cop guy. You know what I'm talking about? He always plays the dirty role. They're making this guy like that guy Tio Rossi, I think his name is. They're making him like the new fucking urban bad white guy and shit.
Yeah,
but,
you mean Tanaka's henchman?
He was the one in Luke Cage. I forgot. He came a little bit later in Luke Cage.
Oh, you talking about Shades?
Yeah, Shades. Nick Shades, exactly. Shades, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's the kind of typecasted as like the kind of asshole role, but is he a good guy? What side? But anyway, yeah. I mean, the movie was
that shit good.
Bautista's not really a good actor. I'm a former wrestling head. Bautista's kind of a shitty actor, but whatever. He played the role well. Goes from power. My dude kills his role, I think. Obviously, it looked realistic. They put a lot of money and time and effort into it.
There's somebody else from Power too. Wasn't it one of the cartel's sisters?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of familiar faces in there. I mean, that was good casting. Yeah. I mean, obviously they put a big budget up to it, so I just thought, storyline was kind of hit or miss. I read a lot of people about saying the daughter storyline was kind of stupid.
It didn't make no sense. I mean, pretty much you want to take the suicide ass missing, get some money so you can hope for a reconciliation because he had to put a bullet in her mother's brain because she turned to his aunt.
It was cliche. It was another spoiler. It was cliche and ironic. She puts the bullet through his brain and then right. So
exactly.
Full circle.
I mean, yeah, full circle. But no, I mean, overall, I mean, it was a good watch. I mean, it was, one of the better movies I watched this year. To be honest, I didn't really watch too many movies, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like in that. I mean, the only thing I'll disagree is Batista. I personally, I think Batista is actually one of the better wrestler turned actors. Like, I'll say this in terms of his movies. Like between him and The Rock, like The Rock is the better actor, but The Rock doesn't really pick the best movies sometimes, or he picks the safe movie. Whereas Batista, I mean, although he has a safe movie, he has Drax the Destroyer in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He picks gritty ass movies that show more that that you have to focus more on his acting ability than the fact that he's just a big roided out guy.
Yeah, you're right.
But then he knows how to pick those roles where they need a big guy, and he excels and he kills that shit too. Because if you've seen that Yip Man movie, he was one of the bad guys in that, and he killed that part.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in a lot of dope movies, like The Escape, Hotel Artemis.
I remember that one.
Yeah, The Escape.
Damn, I've never fucking seen that. That's on my list. Like,
he's pretty witty.
That's pretty dope. Even the lower movies, like even the movies, like I mean, I didn't like The Kickboxer Vengeance all that much, but he killed it as Tong Po in that.
Yeah, he did. I fucked with that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then I know too he's gonna be in one. He's later on this year. He's gonna be one of the biggest films this year in Dune. That's gonna be on HBO Max. So like, dude picks some really good movies. Like, and he shines in them too. And he was also in that Blade Runner remix too. And I didn't even like that movie all that much, but he killed his part in that too.
I didn't even see that. Like, damn, I'm realizing I'm busy, man. Busy. Bro.
No, you busy.
I missed some fucking movies.
Yeah. I mean, he does his thing. So I mean, Batista, and he did his thing in this movie. Like, I mean, like I say, you can feel his anguish and like the fact that he's tortured by what he had to do. In terms of Vic, he tried to be a cook. Like he didn't want to do that shit no more. But Old dude from Mortal Kombat, Scorpion, one of the good parts of Scorpion, Haruyuki Sanada, but he was in there as the boss. He killed this little short role too on there, and he was like, "Hey man, this is a suicide mission, man. Get this money and you good." With the thing is, obviously they're gonna nuke the whole place in like 24 hours or some shit like that if they don't get out in time.
Then the deadline, got pushed up.
Yeah. So I mean that's where there's like, so between doing that and then of course now you're like, okay, it's guarded by zombies, and this is where I've never really seen in other zombie movies. Like they have these zombie movies that's like, zombie movies, although in other zombie movies zombies get killed by bullets to the head or cut off the heads or whatever, and that's the same thing here, but they're actually intelligent for some odd reason. Or somewhat intelligent.
These zombies have like, prime Sweet Pea, Pernell Whitaker head movement. Like
I'm saying, like
what the fuck? Like that's a super nightmare to deal with.
Like they're not on some coming straight to you like in the strict format trying to bite you or some shit.
Shit's bobbing and weaving like Tyson and shit. Like
yeah, and they got super strength too. Like I mean, like they're capable of you throw hands at them, they'll throw hands back. they're not trying to. I mean, they're much more trying to bite, and so that's why it made it so raw. When you see like the alpha zombie in there, and he was fucking up some shit too, like
Yeah. Like, yeah. Damn, he was like the movie was dope overall, but man, it just had some parts that just made me shake my fucking head, yo.
And what was that?
First of all, it's like you got the coyote just bringing people in there, knowing damn well they're not gonna make it. Like, and people going in there to just try to get money, and it's like, like what the fuck, like.
Yeah.
so that right there is just crazy, in itself, because you got regular ass people convincing themselves that they could go into Vegas and steal money, and they've been doing that the whole time. And then you got trained mercenaries coming, and they got a reason, and they actually got training and the resources and shit, and so I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
The whole daughter angle was so fucking forced.
Yeah, they tied it up, and they tied it up in a way that it wouldn't be like a glaring plot hole. But it's just like, I wanted at least for
it was forcibly tied up though, man. It wasn't like that whole part just wasn't organic. Like I see what they was trying to do, but when them trying to force it, and then the countdown is ticking, and you got motherfuckers just taking their time, acting like the helicopter just gonna be on the roof forever, and and then you risk everybody's lives and kill to find somebody who ends up dying anyway.
I'm saying,
like that shit was just but to me they had more raw things, like dope shit, than they had shit that was whack.
Yeah,
so my score is always still gonna be favorable. I'm not one of these people who let little shit irk them, but they had, but if you got enough good shit to override it, then I let it go.
Yeah, and then it's like some characters in there, they were just introduced, and they don't even have a backstory. Like Amari Hardwick, his backstory was just like non-existent, pretty much. Like they just
didn't even get to use his fucking saw.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. He was player hating too. Theo Rossi, who played the bad cop, he looked like he was ready to use that shit, and he was player hating. It's like, nah, nigga, give me back my.
He won't use it on a female.
Yeah,
his scumbag ass.
Yeah, and also I didn't like this. I didn't like the guy who played the safe cracker. He was kind of annoying. They made him a little bit too flighty for my liking. He was, it's like, oh my god, I killed a zombie. The dude was out here jeez, guy, calm down, bro. Just shoot a zombie in the fucking head, man. Jeez, you don't have to make his character all like sissy, like damn.
They kind of, it's like certain shit they go overboard with, and then certain shit you're like, why you ain't play that up? Like Chambers was like a dope character, and it's like you killed one of the rawest characters in the movie early as fuck, and in a situation that looked savable. I'm like, y'all could just run 10 feet and kill the zombies by her. Like, what y'all doing? Y'all gonna watch her die? Like,
yeah. At least,
they kept making her survive like she was gonna survive. Like every other minute, you're like, damn, okay, she has to be dead. And then boom, Allah, I'm here. Da, 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 da. Then you're like, okay, now she has to be dead. Then boom, she busts through the window. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, she was a soldier, bro.
Yeah, she was definitely wrong. Like I said, the movie has some dope elements. I don't understand the people who's like, man, this shit trash, it's mid. Like, something with that much effort, time, and money, it's hard to make a zombie movie on that level terrible.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's just hard.
I don't know what people expect sometimes. People like some of the critiques, that whether it be music or TV, is a little too much sometimes. I mean, just enjoy it for what it is, entertainment. I don't know.
Yeah, they did. At least for the zombies. Everyone knows like the zombies. It came from Area 51. The zombie was most likely something like, I think it was like intergalactic, like whatever.
Yeah, it was an alien fucking zombie. Like, they alluded to that, and the lights and shit, and the stars in the beginning. Like,
yeah. I thought they executed that shit perfectly instead of just having to be some random ass virus or whatever that he created. Because that's how these viruses usually.
How they usually start, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then I know another criticism was the runtime in the movie, but I actually thought, I thought that shit like flowed. Like, I didn't think.
Nah, it was too long. It was too long. Like, it was a good 20 minutes too long.
I thought it was a little long, yeah, a little tad bit long.
Because there's so many parts you could really just cut out. Like, if you execute the daughter storyline better, a lot of the shit that she went on and did, like, cuts the movie down.
Yeah.
Even certain parts in the beginning, like when he's recruiting people, and a lot of the shit with the forced storyline with Greta and the kids and all that, like,
yeah.
Like, honestly, the movie could be trimmed down by 20 minutes at the minimum, 30 minutes max.
Yeah, 20-ish, definitely,
yeah. Like, even if you said 15 minutes, that helps it, because the movie just was dragging at certain points, but when it gets to the action, it's like, oh man, you're in there 100%. Like,
yeah, the action. Like I said, there's one thing that movie just didn't disappoint. The action was on point. Like I said, you give me a whole bunch of headshots and decapitations and all types of brutal kills, and I'm a happy guy. Especially in the zombie movie, man. And in the action delivered in spades, man. I loved it. Even the zombie kills were crazy. Like, even like the one where the head zombie turned old girl's head around. Had her looking backwards.
Yeah, that was tough.
It came unexpected. The zombie tiger fucking up that sellout.
Mm-hmm.
That was like one of the best kills. Like, he had to get fucked up.
Yeah, especially the trailer, like the zombie tiger. Because I was like, man, they're having this tiger dude got their thing. Like, this motherfucker's just roaming around and shit. Like, he owns the shit. Like, kill somebody.
Like, have him do something. Like, shit.
And he did too. He had a great kill too when he killed old boy. That was kind of like, going for self. The
movie delivers on certain parts. Like, I hate when a movie sets up something and then they don't deliver. This movie kind of did that with certain shit, but then it had other shit that is set up, and it delivered real good on. So it's like, okay, like I thought they was gonna have a scene with the rain and the zombies.
True, yeah, so did I.
He said that up. I was like, it's obviously they was trying to build a universe for this world, because now I'm reading shit like they got an anime that's gonna be like a prequel that shows the part early in the movie when they're escaping from Vegas the first time.
That's dope.
Yeah, that does sound dope. Like, honestly, that could have been the fucking movie.
Yeah. But I know the one thing in the movie that I also didn't really like all that much. I was like, when the scene where after the queen zombie is killed, and the alpha zombie takes her back to where they were, and he starts digging all up in their guts, which was kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then pulls out the zombie fetus. I was like, so these zombies were fucking.
Yeah. That's a late ass abortion right there.
Yeah, I'm saying like so like zombies be fucking now, and like that was the one part I was just like I was like nah, I'm good on that. Like that's not cool. I'm not. I you know unless yeah, that was kind of gross. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't even think about zombies fucking.
Yeah, no, like zombies. All I want my zombies to be is just to be either ultraviolet or need to go bite somebody or some shit like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever the zombies just want some brains, like
Yeah.
on the pause. Zombies want pussy now, so I mean, it's 2021, folks.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like yeah, it was like yeah, I mean, you know, that whole scene could have been cut, like really, like because that zombie fetus, you know, it didn't push anything in the story for it. Like, I mean, that was a big plot hole in itself because like, you know.
Yeah, because honestly, they could have had it when he killed the zombie. The fetus should have just fell out of her den or something, or pop out the stomach, and you kill a whole bullshit scene later.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Yeah, ugh, God, just even thinking about that just makes me just ugh.
Oh damn, that might have been the worst, but fuck it, like
yeah. You know, but I mean,
I know how my zombie movie's gonna go.
Yeah. Now this movie did really. I mean, now do you guys think this movie ended on a Netflix type of ending or nah?
Nah, I thought it ended good. It didn't end on a Netflix kind of ending.
Yeah, most Netflix you don't get a cliffhanger like, oh, there could be a sequel, because I mean obviously the end of it looks like there's probably maybe more likely a sequel for this, right?
Oh yeah,
the anime is a prequel.
Oh, word? Okay.
The anime is basically a whole movie on the little beginning montage they did when you know how they was escaping and they got like the general and all that shit and they're leaving.
Yeah.
Las Vegas is turning. I heard everybody's going to do their voices and shit. The anime is going to be the original team during that part.
Okay.
Which a lot of people felt like should have been a movie from the get-go, but whatever.
Yeah, and that shit's going to be dope. And then the ending itself, too, like, I mean, now, granted, like, the ending was kind of funny how it all played out, you know, but, I mean, it was clear, though, it was going to happen. Like, you know, you have the one motherfucker that got bit, you know, and, you know, he just happens to be on a plane in the air with, like, 2 or 3 people. You know, I was like, "Yep, there we go again." You know, I was like,
yeah, I thought that was a dope ending. It's open ended to where like, okay, he could go batshit crazy and crash the plane, or he could turn and take over, and when he land, you know,
yeah,
there's a plane full of zombies. It's like it could go either way, but it took the movie far enough to where like, okay, I could deal with this ending. Netflix would have had that shit ended with the guy. He would have walked out the fucking vault and he looked around in the end.
Yeah, smiles in the end, right? Yeah, exactly.
Or not even that. The movie would have ended when she shot her dad. That's a Netflix ending.
Yeah.
And you would be thinking like, well, damn, what happened to the bitch in the helicopter? Hold on, what happened to? Oh, why? Yo, what about the dude in the vault? Like, like would have been a whole bunch of shit.
No, yeah, absolutely, yeah, and I was happy at least it didn't, because if they gave me a bad ending for this movie, I probably would have been like, you know what, yeah, I might, yeah, I would have been like, fuck this movie if the ending was some old bullshit, you know. Yeah. But I was happy that it wasn't. So, like I said, I mean, so yeah, like I said, we highlight some of the flaws, its pros and cons and whatnot. So now it's time for the score, Pilot. So, out of 10, man, what do you give this movie?
I was thinking 6, but thinking again, I'm gonna give it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's a solid watch. I'd suggest watching it once, maybe, you know. I mean, I'd catch it again if it's on TV, but I mean, yeah, I'll give it a 7. It was beautifully shot. They put money and effort into it. I like the cast. I'm a guy who likes casting, you know, when they put a little budget.
So this movie is just as good as Nobody?
Oh, what? I give Nobody.
You voted that a 7 too.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Well, let's make it a 6 then, because I like Nobody a little better. So I'll give it a 6.
Consistency cops.
Yeah. You got the receipt. Sorry, they got the receipt. Sorry. Yeah, 6. We'll give it a 6 in that case. Nobody was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely spent money on it. I think the budget for this was between 70 and 90 million. So yeah, they definitely did that.
Yeah, niggas put a League of Extraordinary superhero type money behind it.
Yeah, hey, that's Netflix. Like once Netflix blew up, I mean, like movies like this, just regular ass movies got big budgets and shit, man. So I mean, that's a come up. That's a big. I mean, I never thought Netflix would even get to that point. nigga.
I mean, America needed something to compete with Train to Busan and Peninsula. All the other countries been doing the zombie movies better than America since like Dawn of the Dead remake.
Pretty much, especially
If you want to be honest.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. I mean, yeah, I mean, American movie. Usually, America when it deals with zombie movies, like it's almost on some old '80s shit. You know, like not really creative like it is like let's say in Japan or something like that. You know, where where they flourish it, where they actually build that shit out. And then America,
like Japan, you seen I Am Hero?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's dope, but I wouldn't put that above no Dawn of the Dead remake or nothing.
But then, of course, like I said, then once American studios see this shit, then they copy it and they change some aspect of it, and bam, it's that's how it goes. No idea is original.
And you got to get the right director. If not, you'll have so much extra bullshit in it, like this one.
Mm-hmm.
But they put enough firepower to make it work. So
absolutely. So LB, what about you? What score would you give this?
It's above average. It's not a 6 to me. I'd give it a 7 because it just had some raw ass parts that you can't deny.
Right.
And like the cinematography, like the way it was shot, the kills, the gory, they low key was setting up a good story, universe to expand on it. But I have to put it as a 7 because it's not the best, most recent zombie movie I've seen. And it's not touching a lot of the classics from before. Like, it's not Seeing the Horde, which is a French zombie movie from, I think, 2010 or some shit.
Word.
Which is excellent, by the way, classic. It was the best zombie movie at that time until Train to Busan came out. This is definitely not seeing the motherfucking Train to Busan. And not seeing the fucking sequel to Train to Busan, which is called Peninsula, which they kind of fucked that up because a lot of people didn't even know that was out because it's not named Train to Busan 2.
Yeah.
It's called Train to Busan Presents Peninsula. So who the fuck is gonna look for that? So even I found that late. So the movie was out since last year. It's not seeing Peninsula because Peninsula got the same type of action and big budget shit without the extra 30 minutes of bullshit for storylines and shit.
Word.
But they still give you a good story and it's heartfelt and emotional. Shout outs to Korea. They did their thing on that. Not seeing no 28 Weeks Later, no Dawn of the Dead remake. So yeah, it's a solid 7. It's definitely worth watching. It's good action, fun movie. You'll definitely be like, oh shit, that was crazy. And then you'll definitely roll your eyes a couple times, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You'll suck your teeth a few times, but yeah, it's 7. I recommend it. It's a 7.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you just need a fun zombie movie where kills are just happening, and that's what. And like I said, we discussed it before. It's just like Netflix needs more of these type of movies on its platform.
Violence for just violence, for the sake of violence.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Even though they force the storyline out, but the main thing is violence. That's why even with the whole daughter bullshit in the movie, I still can't shit on the movie because the movie still did some great things. So
right. And I mean, I'm just happy it didn't go too modern. If you guys know what I'm talking about, with like some agendas being forced into this thing, which I'm happy.
Yeah.
With.
But they made a joke of that though with the Dieter.
Yeah, no, but I mean they did. But
see, that's called execution because I laughed at the time, like it was cool. Like I was like, oh, I see what they doing, but. They didn't beat it over your head, like beat it over your head with it.
No, they didn't.
And they had so much of the raw shit, you don't forgot about it. You wouldn't remember it if I didn't even mention that shit.
Yeah, exactly. Because I was like, that's why I know. Like, if they did it so it was so minute that I didn't pick that up. But in a way that's good though, because I mean that means that means the movie was executed the way it should have. As a zombie movie that was a thriller. And I give it a 7 too. Like you like for the same reason. Like you're absolutely right. Like like I said, it like basically, why the story was different from other zombie movies in the past. it didn't really push the genre into like a different area, like like a new thing, like where you're like, okay, I can see a whole bunch of other studios copying this shit.
Yeah. It's one of the. It's a good movie for this year, but honestly, when I look back at all the dope ass movies we reviewed this year, this one's more like in the lower end, but it's still better than Mortal Kombat. So
yeah, in a way that's all that matters. It's better than Mortal Kombat.
Because I mean, you got to look at it like I'm trying to damn. I'm almost have to bring up the site, but I know nobody. King Kong versus Godzilla. Damn, what else came out that was dope? Paper Tigers. Dude, we've been reviewing a shitload of dope movies. So
yeah, and
every now and then you might get one that's kind of trash, Mortal Kombat, or that's a little above average, Army of Darkness, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's like I said. I mean, and not every movie we review. I mean, we may anticipate it, but sometimes the movies just may not play out the way we want it to, and sometimes it can be
Zack Snyder film too. Shit.
Second Snyder. Yeah, I mean that was an excellent film. So yeah,
he better on Justice League. I'll give him that. he went from he dropped like 3 points though.
Facts. Oh man, but yeah, just like this, we all recommend it. It's a good watch. It's a great. Like I said, if you have a couple hours to kill, turn it on, man. Just turn your brain off. Like I said, I mean, turn it on, turn your brain off, and get yourself a beer or whatever it is, and just enjoy it, man. Like for what it is.
Stop looking for goddamn Godfather level Oscar performances in zombie movies. Jeez.
That
shit gotta go.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. It's a zombie movie, and if it's one, it's a plus. But it's not. It doesn't mean it's like a black eye in the genre to not have some Shakespearean acting in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, as long as it's better than Silk the Shocker and fucking Hot Boys, it's still pass.
You good? Yeah.
As far as acting. Oh man,
that's facts, So yeah, I mean, bottom line is watch the movie. You'll enjoy it. Real talk.